Not all of the gags are relevant, but that doesn't mean we don't love them. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shows with the best cutaway gags.
As the movie she'd released in her secret life as a studio executive was losing money, but maybe had a way to fix that.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at shows that regularly cut away from the action for a gag. These can be flashbacks or imaginary sequences, as long as they take us away from the narrative, only to put us right back in.
When you're gay, every day is a non-stop cabaret.
Number 10. The Simpsons. Though it's not commonly associated with cutaway gags, The Simpsons still employs the trope every now and then.
Besides, it isn't costing us. I swiped the cinder blocks from a construction site.
Sir, 6 cinder blocks are missing.
There'll be no hospital then. I'll tell the children.
With a world as bizarre as the one Matt Groening built, there's no shortage of random flashbacks or goings-on to cut to when Homer dives into a non sequitur.
Candy and sodas for all! Convenient.
And let's be honest, who isn't tickled whenever a Springfield side character gets a moment in the sun?
There's very little meat in these gym mats.
The show tended to use the cutaway gags more in earlier seasons, before another animated Fox sitcom came around and took over the trope, which we'll get to a little later. Number 9. New Girl. The shared history of New Girl's quirky friends provides plenty of context for funny cutaways.
She doesn't listen to us anymore. She's not coming back.
What makes these cutaways great is that they give us either more insight into the main characters, or just a fun bit of silliness, making us laugh either way.
The rest of us have to keep it together all the time.
You're irrationally angry 365 days a year,
What are you
Nick.
talking about? I will push if I want to push! Come on! I hate doors!
The cast's performances and commitment to their zaniness can inject a welcome and surprising burst of energy into an otherwise slow scene, introducing a uniquely comedic pace to the episodes.
Did you just say that cats are obsessed with your nipples?
I've told you this story before.
In a TV landscape heavily saturated with network sitcoms, New Girl's cutaways helped it stand out. Number 8. Big Mouth. A show about kids going through puberty has to tackle their hormonal thoughts one way or another.
Being gay can be bloody brilliant.
How so, Freddie Mercury?
Naturally, Netflix's Big Mouth found a funny and subversive way to approach this.
What sadistic female-hating janitor stocks this bathroom?
You leave me, Svetlana! I a whole gender!
For these kids, what they're going through can feel like climbing Mount Everest. And on one occasion, the show makes just that comparison.
Boys, I made it. It's beautiful up here. I wish you could see it. Over.
You did it, Nick.
You reached the highest peak in our grade.
As one of the racier shows on this list, there are a lot of cutaways that we really can't show here.
Bonjour, little boy. Life is meaningless and you are all alone.
Take our word for it though. This one is worth your time if you're old enough to enjoy it. Number 7. How I Met Your Mother. The unique format of How I Met Your Mother allows it to play with time in a way that few other shows can.
I can't teach you anything.
As Ted tells the story of how he met his children's mother, we're treated to scenes that show us not only his future, but also his past, as well as that of his friends.
If you ever need a wingman, I'm your guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through that again. Hi, Barney Stinson.
And I'm Marshall, Barney's wingman.
We're able to recognize these as natural situations that the show's lovable but absurd characters would actually find themselves in. And we have to admit, here at WatchMojo, we are suckers for all the references to Robin's upbringing in Canada. Go Tim Hortons, eh?
I want to go home, Daddy!
That direction is nothing but wolves!
Number 6. BoJack Horseman. One of the best things about BoJack is the wonderfully weird world it builds, which humans and animals cohabit. Using cutaways, the writers ingeniously fill out this world and the characters that live within it.
You said it with your actions.
What actions?
Oh, look at that baby. Isn't he the cutest baby you ever saw?
What? No, what?
In addition to being hysterical without interrupting the show's cast, they help us understand the characters and some of their wackier quirks.
See, that's the problem with all your ideas. They don't have ground floors.
Finally, a Halloween store for the rest of...
Hello.
Some of them also establish a sense of congruity by calling back to characters, events, or storylines from previous episodes.
How about a new show where celebrities try to guess whether or not people have talent? We'll air it 3 nights a week.
What makes them so great is how many ways they can bolster the story being told without detracting from it.
So, he didn't tell you everything. Did he tell you about the time I counted to 1,000,000? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6...
No, stop.
But I was just getting to the good part.
What, 7?
Number 5. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The antics of Jake Peralta and the other detectives of the 9-9 have made for one of the best network comedies of the decade.
The Squad is what made me decide to become a detective. And it was my first book report.
The detectives wiped the mobsters' blood off their boots and found the skag.
With a comic momentum that could give you whiplash, the show is able to easily jump from one moment to another, but never allows any of them to feel rushed.
I need help on this. I asked Boyle and he was useless.
Put a baby in her, Jake. What are you waiting for?
There's no shortage of charisma among the cast, endearing us to each personalized joke.
At least he doesn't practice his crane kicks with you.
Said not to move.
I didn't move.
Ensemble comedies are at their best when they know how to best utilize their characters and their relationships, and no one gets the short end of the stick here. Number 4. Arrested Development. The fly-on-the-wall, semi-mockumentary style of Arrested Development opened the door for the formats of later single-camera sitcoms. It also allowed for some of the best use of cutaway gags on television.
If you're saying I play favorites, you're wrong. I love all my children equally. I don't care for Joe.
What makes these so unique is that they cut away to various different media, including photos, newspaper articles, and historical footage.
This guy has got a fortune.
Jack Dorso first achieved success in the 40s as a co-star of the radio and then film serial Red McGibbon and Bullet, Nazi Hunters.
They also often last for much longer than cutaways in most shows. In doing so, they serve to flesh out the world of the series, and also to establish the episode's plot points in a brilliantly seamless way.
Well, Tobias, maybe you should spend less time focused on your looks and a little bit more time focused on your daughter, okay? Her grades are terrible. She's gonna start getting Fs.
Actually, she'd already gotten one, as the movie she'd released in her secret life as a studio executive was losing money.
Number 3. Scrubs. Unlike the rest of these shows, Scrubs cutaway gags all have one basis: JD's fantasies.
Because if she's joking and I kiss her...
As a low-ranking nurse working at Sacred Heart Hospital, he frequently escapes into his daydreams. His imagination tends to run wild, which serves to put the other characters in outlandish situations that the show wouldn't otherwise be able to pull off.
She'll come around.
Pretzel?
It adds to the show's sublime slapstick humor and gives it a one-of-a-kind comic identity.
52. Cat, you don't look a day over 25.
Really?
Thank you, young
lady.
Few shows on this list are able to integrate their cutaways so intrinsically into a central character, and they're one of the biggest reasons we love the show and its protagonist.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's up? What's happening with the other thing?
Number 2. 30 Rock. Tina Fey's Emmy-winning sitcom about the production of a sketch comedy series is notorious for subverting sitcom conventions. Most notably, its ingenious cutaways managed to be both ludicrously amusing and strangely effective from a storytelling perspective.
I was part of a special task force of very young-looking cops who infiltrated high schools. How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
The crew was so committed to their gags that multiple days would go towards the production of scenes that lasted only seconds. But it was always worth it, and routines like Werewolf Bar Mitzvah still managed to crack us up.
And my gold record from that novelty party song.
Werewolf Bar Mitzvah, spooky, scary, boys becoming men.
A live episode even managed to use a Julia Louis-Dreyfus cameo to keep the trope alive.
Jonathan, give me a pen.
Yeah, Chai boy, get in here. You'll never be a millionaire.
It all just goes to show their commitment to the craft. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Little
Miss Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, and what a big tuffet she had.
You're not working from home again, are you?
My father hated when my mother went into business for herself.
I know it's January, sir, but candy corn is not just for Halloween anymore.
She ran up the phone bill. She put my father to work.
What you mean you gotta put it together yourself?
What size shoe you wear?
But we loved each other. I know we did. I mean, I knew he liked men.
With Tim Meadows.
But he knew I liked skinny white boys.
David Spade.
Beauty!
Beast! I like your haircut.
Oh, thank you for noticing. Yeah, I had them take off a little extra off the wrists.
Ugh, and since when do you carry a switchblade?
It's a long story, Mother. Neat. Well, not so much long, it's just not very interesting.
Number 1, Family Guy. No one should really be surprised at our choice for number 1.
I got fired off of that commercial. Try it again. I'm caca for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, damn it, take 26.
Family Guy is the show that popularized the trope of the cutaway gag.
I guess I'll see if I can get my old gig back selling butt scratchers at the ballpark. Butt scratcher! Butt scratcher! Get your butt scratcher here!
Even though it isn't the first show to employ them, can you really say you think of any other show first when the term is brought up?
Oh, this is an even bigger jackpot than when the Emperor figured out the formula for great Star Wars dialogue.
Something, something, something dark side.
It even continued in its spin-off series, The Cleveland Show, and to a lesser extent, creator Seth MacFarlane's other series, American Dad.
Oh, we just signed a contract with IKEA to furnish a wreck. Basically, the whole country is going to look like your first apartment.
I like this. It fits with our hip 20-something lifestyle.
Given their frequency, everyone who's seen the show has 1 or 2 gags that will never fail to get a laugh, no matter how many times we're reminded of them. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.